Hello and hi again to Dr. English YouTube channel. This is Dr. Mafi, a PhD in Applied Linguistics, and today's lesson is very basic but important. Let's focus on the topic that I'd like to share with you today in this video. We're going to talk about or focus on possession. Possession means you possess something, you have something, you own something. So we're going to talk about this ownership, the state of having something, right? Sometimes we as people, individuals, humans, or even animals have something, and sometimes there are some objects that belong to some other objects, so they are inanimate, not living, according to the science, right? So far. Well, if that is the case, meaning that thing or that part of the other object, which is bigger usually, like the handle of the door, we use the function word of, right? So the handle of the door. For example, the tip of the marker, the cap of the marker, right? The whiteboard of the class, right? Or the chair of the class, the door of the class, the window of the house. So for these scenarios or these objects that belong to something else, which is of course bigger usually, we use the function word of, right? Look at this arrow. And then the second scenario or case we have is that, well, we are looking at, or we are talking about a part of someone or an animal, which is animate, living, right? So like the dog's tail, the tail of the dog. Well, this is one way of saying it, but normally it's more common to say the dog's tail. So we use apostrophe S. We use apostrophe S. And we put it or attach it to the previous word, which is animate, which is the thing that receives the ownership or possession, all right? Or has or possesses, for example, the tail, okay? Like this, in this case, dog. Mary's car. Mary, right, has a car. This is not Mary has a car. Well, it is very close to it. I mean, the idea or the meaning is the same thing. So Mary's apostrophe S, and then we use the word car that belongs to Mary, like the tail that belongs to the dog. Or another example that I gave you, John's house, all right? The house that belongs to John. So we use an apostrophe S, and then we have the house, right? It means John has a house. Of course, John could have like two houses or many houses, depending on how rich he is. Or the same thing is true with Mary, right? Mary's car or Mary's cars, if Mary has more than one single car. Okay, so this is one thing I wanted to share with you as the basis of our discussion. And the second one is, well, you need to know a couple of things about like possessive adjectives and possessive pronouns. Possessive adjectives, the adjectives that we use in order to refer to that, for example, individual, like Mary or John, or even me, myself. So obviously I don't use I or me, which are the subject and object pronouns, okay? But here we use possessive adjectives like my, for example, bag, my students, all right? My books. You can refer to my books on my YouTube channel. Well, or our class, which is the plural form, okay? These are the singular column, plural column, like the other subjects or subject, noun, or object pronouns that you have already learned. So my, your, his, her, its, for the animals, are, your, and their, the plural column. Something close to the possessive adjectives that we need to learn also is that of the possessive pronouns. Like mine, these are pronouns, not adjectives. These are possessive adjectives, they come before the nouns. You know, in English, adjectives are used before the nouns. Here, these are pronouns, possessive pronouns. They are used instead of the noun, in place of the nouns. So we don't use the nouns anymore. In order to avoid, for example, repetition, we don't use the nouns anymore. Like we use, for example, one noun in one sentence and in the next, well, when we want to refer to that person, that individual, we usually use the pronouns, right? So these are this is the function of the pronouns, right? They replace the nouns. Well, anyway, so the possessive pronouns are mine, yours, his, hers, its, ours, yours, and theirs. As you might have noticed, well, my changes into mine, but the other things are like your becomes yours, his is just his because it ends in S, just like its, which ends in S and doesn't get a change. But here becomes hers. As you can see, there is an S added to the end of each of these possessive adjectives, right? And then they become pronouns. Well, the way we use them is like this. For example, it's my bag, all right? It's my marker, it's my phone. Or you can also use it's mine. You can change it into it's mine. Now that we know all of these, especially these introductory steps to the major subject possession, we need to learn how we can make a question. In order to make a question about possessions, we have to follow this model, this pattern, whether it is singular or plural. Like, whose bag is it? Whose, not who is, right? That's a different story. Whose refers to, or the kind of question about possession. So, whose bag is it, or whose is it? If you're referring to it right away, they'll understand what you are pointing at. So, it becomes optional whether you say the bag part or not. Well, if they understand and comprehend what you are asking about, or by referring to it, of course, or having referred to it, then we don't need to use the singular or plural nouns right after whose. But anyway, so whose bag is it, or whose is it? Or whose bags, if you're asking about the plural nouns. Whose bags are they? Whose are they? Well, the possible answer is, or are, for these two sentences, it's my bag, or it's mine. Whose bag is it? Whose is it? It's mine. Whose bag is it? Whose chair is it? It's his. Whose car is it? It's hers. Or it's her car. It's Mary's car, right? Whose house is it? It's John's. Or it's John's house, or it's his house, or it's his. We use the pronoun instead of the adjective. But anyway, it's possible. So depending on how you answer it, these are the possible answers you may end up with, especially with the last ones. Whose bags are they? They are their bags, or they are theirs. Or you can, instead of the adjective pronoun, or even the possessive, the possessive adjective or the possessive pronouns, you can use the nouns, or the noun itself, or themselves, right? So I hope you enjoyed this. And if you have any comments, please drop me any questions and comments in the comments below. Thank you for watching again. And once again, don't forget to like and subscribe.